Can you guess what we're doing based on this picture?
Are we Breaking Bad?
No, but maybe we should. Okay, we'll be back. It's a re
Reaction?
it's a reaction. Today we're gonna react to some stuff that I put together. You ready
Okay.
for this?
All right, let's go.
So what I did was I found some different couples gaming setups on some different websites and I put them together for us to look at. I found this one on Reddit. It was like the first one that came up if you type in couples gaming setups. And I found out very quickly with most of these setups that they have like no descriptions, no specs, no nothing.
It's plain, simplistic. I feel like having the computers up top would generate a lot of heat in your face, especially with gaming. I also see that they both have the Corsair mouse pad that I have, and I'm not the only one who has the issues where it doesn't quite want to lay flat, no matter how long you've had it.
This is definitely a very, very simplistic setup. To me, I think it would bother me having the computer in the very center. Like, I think one of the things that we made sure of is that we have like open space. The whole point of being at the same desk is that we can have the room in between us to either put drinks down or have it open or whatever. So just don't like you said, I don't like the idea of the computers being on the top of the desk for heat purposes, but also it looks very
Cluttered,
off and
closed
cluttered.
off. Yeah.
It's not symmetrical. Like maybe if his computer was on the left side, but it doesn't look like the table is long enough for that. I haven't seen or I haven't had a one monitor setup in so long. It kind of makes me feel some type of way. So they didn't have any specs or information listed, but from the comments I did see, he said, I've made some small changes to the setup since this picture was taken. And then also said this is a live edge butcher block countertop. I feel like it was such a waste to go with a live edge butcher block for this
Well,
purpose
like
because
looking
it's
at it,
dark.
I don't see a live edge
That's why
at
I'm
all.
thinking it's such a
So
waste because if I'm gonna get a live edge, because live edge, anything is pretty expensive from what I've seen. So like if I'm gonna do it, it's gonna be in a place where it can like really be seen and appreciated for what it is. If you're gonna do a live edge for a desk, really go into that as almost like the aesthetic. So get rid of all the RGB, get rid of, all the
yeah,
color and like go with a very natural look and theme. I think that would have made it better. What would you rate this out of 10 just on what we can see? Obviously, nothing about specs.
I mean, I'd give it a five. It's right there in the middle. It does what it needs to do. Things can be improved.
I'm going to be a little harsh and I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. So this one had no comments or description, but I have a feeling you're going to have a few comments.
Okay, that looks like a Pikachu case, obviously,
The
right?
yellow version.
He has a custom water loop in there. Not 100% sure what the hell is going on with the
Wait,
fireplace in the middle. It almost looks like so on the other desk, the one on the right, the blue box up there almost looks like a Harbor Freight TIG welder.
it does. It does.
Definitely needs to upgrade from the 1970s leather office style chair. This one's, I don't know, like the one on the left, he has whoever has a curved monitor with a downlight on it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's really all you can tell about the system. Like even zooming in on the Pikachu case itself, I can't even tell what kind of graphics card that is or anything. I could just tell that it's a custom loop in there. I mean, you definitely would need to ensure that everything in there stays as cool as possible since you have a fucking fireplace in the room going.
If this is what works for them, that's fantastic and
I
I
mean,
love that for
absolutely.
them. But why would you put this on the internet as like a showing off your couples setup? Because to me, nothing about it screams couples, and it barely even screams gamer or gaming setup. To me, this looks like we both had to work from home during COVID, and this is what we threw together to do that. But again, like if you want this to be like, something worthy of like the battle stations Reddit. I don't even know where this was posted, but like lean into the aesthetic of making it like a rustic cavern
Yeah.
game. Like I think that would be so cool because you don't see that.
Okay.
Like you see tons of gaming setups where it's like very futuristic looking, like very, colorful and lights, but you don't really see ones that are like rustic cabin or like rustic medieval. I think that would be super freaking cool, and they already have like half that going for them. So like lean into it and make it something really cool.
Yeah, and definitely upgrade your chairs.
Also, if you're going to take a picture to show off your setup, please clean things up because like this mess over here is it's pretty bad.
Rate 2.
Oh,
He only gets a 2 because of the Pokemon case. He would have gotten a 1.
yeah, I'm going to give it a 2 based on the fact that there are 2 computers here and that's about it.
Well, maybe. I can't even see a computer in the other one.
This was also on Reddit. It says it is not 100% done. Need to do cable management and move the setup to the wall. My girlfriend has the same build in white. Love the tiny NR 200p case in this small space.
What I'm confused about, he has a camera set up,
Mhm.
obviously for streaming or recording, right? So he has it going to his computer somehow. Why do you need another display on top of your camera?
Unless his camera setup, like recording setup, is not directly tied to gaming or the computer, or maybe he does a lot of like mix. Like we do a lot of stuff that's not necessarily on the computer, like testing of stuff and things like that. So I could see it being useful. Is it necessary? No, but I love that he has the same camera inside of a ring light setup that I have because I really like it. Works really well for me.
It's not a bad setup at all. They're definitely taking care of what they look at with the textured wall panels back there, giving it a little bit of something instead of like a lot of streamers. People focus on what's behind them primarily versus what's in front of them.
I like the shelf up top, and I would be like,
Definitely needs more.
I do like that she has a Secret Labs chair. Like me, it's the DVA one,
Almost
but
looks like he has one of those like $1,400 Herman Miller chairs.
I was gonna say,
That's one of the Herman
while her
Miller
chair
chairs.
is expensive, I think he still has the better chair. And I can't remember if it was this setup or a different one, but a comment caught my eye where it was like one person is usually the one where you can see this is where all the money went, and then the other one gets like the old stuff, like the hand-me-downs or what. I'm glad that I feel like our setup is not like that at all. Like you cannot pick one side or the other that has like something way more expensive or way more fancy.
One thing I was wondering though is like if you look up at the desk or at the shelf, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has a tough RTX up there, right? That's a three fan full size GPU. Does not fit in that case.
It could just be stuff he's collected over the years, or maybe it's for a future build.
I can't see like what card it is in there.
Okay, what's your rating on this one?
I'd give it like a 6 or a 7. As you know, whoever the original poster was said, it's not 100% done. They still got some stuff to do. There's definitely some things they can do to improve it.
He says it's not fully done yet. And like he brought up cable management, but that's like the least of what would bother me in this picture, probably because I let us get away with bad cable management for a really long time because I don't care. But I think I'd give it like a 6.5, 7 where it is currently. I feel like they could really make this super cool and bump it up all the way. All right. So this one is also from Reddit. There was no description. What are your thoughts?
It's kind of clean. I do like the brick look on. I don't know if that's actually like a brick wall or if it's all like the facade that she, whoever put on there. Kind of irritating that one computer's facing one way and the other's facing the other way, showing off what's on the inside. Like just rotate both of them. They're not as tall as us. I can tell you that right off the rip because their desk is sitting flat on the Alex drawer.
Yeah.
Where we had to put 4-inch risers on ours so we didn't hit our knees on the desk.
I'm a little jealous of the side to side room that they have.
Yeah.
But I also feel like just looking at this, I'm hopeful that I am correct in saying that this is like early in setting up this room for them because like I don't see chairs. There's not really much else going on yet.
Yeah.
To me, it feels like they started setting it up and we're like, oh, let's take a picture of the progress. Also, the fact that like people don't have both their computers on when they take these pictures is like crazy to me.
And don't anybody out there, don't ever hang your headset from your fucking monitor.
I was waiting until
All
you.
of the oils and grease from your nasty fucking ears is on your ear cups, and now it's going to be on your monitor.
Okay, what's your rating on this one?
So it's a clean, simple setup. I definitely like the walls, but it's just this, right? It's just the setup. There's nothing else to it. So setup alone, I mean, I wouldn't keep the router on the desk. I'd go put that somewhere else. But I'll give this a solid 6.
Yeah, I think kind of like the last one, I think this is like a really good start to something, and I'm hoping that this is kind of like mid progress or something like how our setup has been, which is we gradually add to it over
Yeah.
time as we have the time, money, whatever to do it. I think I would give it a 6 because to me this would not be a super usable gaming setup for me personally. It may work fantastic for this couple. So now we're moving on to Pinterest, which means that I don't even know if the people who posted these, if it's actually their setup. So it's totally possible these are just pictures people found on Google, but I found them on Pinterest.
Don't like. So you have 2 monitors that you're using to game, right? They're sitting really low compared to like the height of the chairs and everything, right? And you have 2 TVs up top. So you're going to be staring down at your monitors the whole time. But if you want to see what's going on the TV, you're like, what? Because you're sitting pretty close to it. I do like the pup.
If
Points for including your dog in here.
When I very first started streaming, my setup was a small IKEA desk, 2 monitors, and a TV directly above them. And I will tell you the only time I was ever using that TV was when I was laying in the bed that was behind my chair, because it's a neck breaker to look up at that. But also I'm very curious, are they both watching Netflix at the same time in there? Because my ADHD would go absolutely nuts if there were ever 2 shows playing at the same time.
Yeah. I don't know. But it's driving me kind of crazy that they just have multiple long cables hanging off at the front of the desk by the Alex drawers.
The cables are not great, but I will tell you that the symmetry in this picture, other than those little 2 pink neon lights, is very pleasing to me. They both have their monitors the same way. Both computers are angled the same, like opposite, but the same direction. And also they kind of did what we did, where it's like she's got the white and pink stuff.
Yeah.
He's got the black with like a little bit of white accent stuff. It meshes together well, but it's still different on both sides.
First thing, like if we inherited this setup, that I would do is change that ugly carpet or floor, whatever. That is ugly.
It's possible they have no control. We have no control over our floor.
I will
Rating.
rate this a 6.5 because the dog.
Oh, not that I really like it, because the last couple we looked at were very much the start to a setup, and this feels a bit more complete. I'm gonna give them a little bit of points just for it's a picture where like mostly things have been cleaned up. They both have their monitors and their TVs on something, so I can see them. I'm gonna give it a 7, and if we're including the dog, then I guess they get a 7.5. From Pinterest, I also think that this is a pretty famous couples setup. At least I have seen this one before. What are your thoughts?
Just like the other one, I don't like. I could not game back to back with you. The setup itself is very clean. It's very nice. Clearly, they're dividing the room in half.
Seems to be a theme for like couple setups, is things are similar but not the same.
Okay, so they're not gaming back to back. So if you look
they'd
over
be
at
more
his,
into the corners.
well, no, so he's got his keyboard on the monitor that's against the window. So
Mhm.
he's facing the wall while she's facing the other wall.
I think one of my bigger complaints with this setup is I do not like those desks. I don't like those desks at all. And like I get that the Alex drawers and whatever top is kind of played out, but the reason it's played out is because it works super well for what you need. I don't like those desks.
And I'll give this one a solid 7. 'Cause, I mean, it's a complete setup.
There's no cute dog in this one to
No
to
extra
s-
points.
to save it or give it extra points. For me though, I feel like they put a lot of effort into this. Yeah, I think about a 7. I think about a 7 would be my rating as well. Here's another one from Pinterest.
You're gonna display your PCs, man. Clean it up. Like, your cables are just everywhere inside your PC, and you can see them just going everywhere. It looks like the audio engineers, or they produce music or something.
Plus the fact that they both have 2 pairs of headphones. Did you notice that?
Yeah,
But you should be happy because they're not hanging off their
it's
monitors.
true.
Having the monitors in different layouts really bothers me. And even just their choices of wallpaper. Like, because I've been using Wallpaper Engine now for so long, I want it to look really smooth and like have the same thing across any amount of monitors you have. So
Yeah.
that's kind of bothering me. And then the fact that like their computers are not the same case or something looks
Yeah, they're
different about
two different
them.
cases. I'm taking points away from the Funko Pops. They're only getting a 5.
All right, so your rating is a 5. And again, I know that I'm being picky and I'm being kind of harsh, but like if I went into a building that had all of these setups so far and I got to choose one, like this would not be it. I think I'm gonna give them like a 5.5. And the half is because I like the My Spirit animal posters. I think this is the last one from Pinterest. What are your thoughts?
It's a setup. There's nothing really that stands out.
Oh, really?
Like,
Not like the 2 huge fucking things under the desk in the middle?
well, I mean, yeah, those drawers are like, you have a 0 room for movement. You have your PC on one side and then the drawers on the other. Like, I mean, overall, like, nothing's like, oh, this is wrong, except for the fact that, he's hanging his fucking headset on his monitors.
This makes me feel super claustrophobic.
Dude, you can at least empty your trash bin that's underneath your desk too
Yeah.
before you take the picture.
Like, I do think, again, if this is like they did this for like work from home type deal, like, I think it's a cute little office for a gaming setup. I don't think it's quite something I could feel comfortable in for hours of gaming. I do like the Princess Peach and the Deadpool, but they are not even with each other. And I like that they have the same chair but in different colors. Like, that's a genius idea. I don't know who would ever think of doing that in a couple setup, but I like it. Picasso, I like it.
This whole setup though is just very bland. Blandness gets you a 3.
I'm gonna give them a little bit more than a 3. I think I'm gonna give them a 4. Now we're going to Twitter. Did not find many on Twitter.
Cables, my guy. Cables.
Cable management. Who?
Rocking the Asteroid 50s. I can see that on his side. It's a good headset, but yeah, cables are everywhere, dude. Get better chairs. Like, if you're going to be sitting here gaming, you need to take care of your fucking body by making sure that where you're sitting is good and conducive for good health.
One of the things that sucks about looking at gaming setups is people want to show off their lighting, but then it makes it kind of hard to actually see what's going on in the picture. What do you think about the TV in this one, though?
I mean, I'm assuming this is in a bedroom, so maybe that's why they have the short back chairs. That way they could, push their chairs in and still watch the TV and not have their chairs in the way.
That would make sense. All right.
I'll give this one a 6. It does what it
6?
needs to. He's got his headsets in the dock or his headset in the dock and not sitting on his fucking monitor. But clean up your cables, dude.
Yeah, I think this one's gonna be a 5 for me. Not a big fan, not a huge fan. Another one from Twitter here. This one we get to see one of the gamers in their natural habitat.
Very busy.
Yeah.
That desk on the left is tiny. Like, he's got a 10 keyless on there and it's taking up a third of the desk. If you're going to take pictures, people, come on, clean up your shit.
Yeah, not a fan of the clutter everywhere.
The DVA poster, World of Warcraft, like, I get, like, 2 different games, 2 different gamers, whatever, but balance them.
Yeah, there is a way to make things look like a gallery wall, which can look really good, but like, you gotta find the way to make it still appealing to the eyes. But this cable management is telling me that they aren't really big on aesthetics. So
I can't game in front of a window like that at all. This one's a 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a 2. Also, I think I see a reflection of lotion in this window, and anytime I see lotion in a gaming setup, it's like -2 points.
I didn't even notice that.
Now we're moving on to Instagram. There was not
I
much
hate
on
this picture.
Twitter.
Take the picture the right fucking way. I don't want to stare at this fucking thing the whole time like this.
And you know, I could have fixed it, but then I feel like you would have lost some of the the specialness
I hate it.
of this picture.
1. I don't care what else is in this picture. It's a 1. You lost points for the Furbies. You get a 0 now.
I'm gonna try to find stuff in this picture that I would give points to. So the GameCube, that gets a point. The Nintendo 64, that gets half a point.
I do like the little display case for all the retro games, right? Because I mean, you got PS1 down at the bottom, you got a PS2 next to it, the GameCube above it, the 64. It looks like he purchased a 650 in 1, 650 plus 650
family gaming,
games, 650 games thing.
Yeah. I'm sorry, whatever points you get for anything else in this room, that chair is going to bring it down to 0 every single time.
Because you can't take a fucking picture.
You get like half a point, and that's the fact that there's a computer that I can see. I can't even see a computer hooked up to this one, so sorry. All right, last one. You're not allowed to deduct points for the cat, okay?
I don't like that TV in the middle. I mean, great cable management.
Can you tell if that's like a logo or something on the outside monitors on the TV?
It looks like it.
I know these people. So I actually know this couple. I follow them on TikTok and on Instagram, and I didn't even realize it when I downloaded this. So this is actually how their room used to look like a long time ago. So for this one, I actually can show an updated, but this is a super cute, super sweet gaming couple that lives in Germany. So we have here an updated look at what their office looks like now.
So much different.
Yeah, you can see that while like the general feel of it is the same, they did make the monitors much better because they are now even and symmetrical.
And all the same.
I must have just happened to find like they're super old because you can see the logo looks very similar, but it's actually updated to what their current name is, which don't know how to say it because I'm pretty sure it's German. I actually do. I like these creators. I don't watch them a lot on Twitch because I don't speak German, so it doesn't make any sense to me. But I like their TikToks that they put out, and I like their Instagram content. So it's super funny that I happen to include them in this reaction. But let's, instead of giving a rating on the original picture I found, give a rating on this one with knowing where it came from.
Definitely a major upgrade from what they have or had. I'd give it a 9.
Here's another picture of a little bit of the closer up, which I feel like this TV kind of makes sense for streaming because then they can see their chat. This is one of the few gamer couple setups I've seen where they really keep it aesthetically similar throughout the entire thing. Like it's very much one setup that just happens to be for 2 people. Yeah. I'm going to give them probably a 9 or a 9.5 as well. And I think like they do know what they're doing. And I think that they're a cool couple to follow. And I am going to give them an extra point for the cats. So they actually get a 10.5. Any final thoughts?
Stop hanging your headphones on your fucking monitors. You're just going to have to clean your fucking monitors all the time.
We have a lot of people leave comments on our YouTube and also occasionally reach out to us about wanting to set up their own couples gamer setups. So if you guys have specific questions, especially like if you want to see how we set up the mics to barely pick each other up or anything like that, leave us a message down in the comments and we can make a video answering some questions. Also, if you are going to post, do it in good lighting. Clean everything up before you take pictures, please, and try to make it look good. If you want to show off your space the right way. People like us will judge you and will tear it apart, and we will pick out the little stuff. And our opinion might not matter, but saying it will happen.
Yeah.
This is the internet.
Like and subscribe.
Hey, love you. Bye.